Hey, what's going on, everybody? Please go ahead and let me know if the audio is working okay, because I did a bunch of new stuff because I want to be able to record my desktop sounds. But welcome to the Godot Q&A stream. Very happy to be here. I have my assistant, Beanie, and she will be taking questions as well. This, again, is a stream that, well, I want to start making these just part of my repertoire, but also it is because I'm promoting and I am a co-host of the GoGodot Game Jam, which is an awesome game jam specifically for Godot that I think is really great for all skill levels. And if you haven't joined, I highly recommend that you do so. The link should be in the description, but I'll go ahead and check it out right now. That's my Canadian accent. And I'll go ahead and drop this in the stream chat. Thanks, Nico. Thanks, Redefine. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, it was kind of a mess. It's kind of difficult to record your desktop audio on a Mac for some reason, but I figured it all out, so that's good, hopefully. But yeah, here's the jam page. Cool stuff. 773 people. Congrats, everybody. Thank you so much for making that happen. That's epic. 4 entries already. Even though they're probably just, like placeholder entries to make sure you get something up there, it's still like cool. People are, they're doing it. They're doing it. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started today. If you have any questions, I'll try and pay attention. If I miss them because I don't see them in the chat, please let me know. And what I would like to do is pin the question I'm answering at the top. Except for the first question here, I'm going to be making coins that you can collect with your player. And that's because well, actually not in my Discord, but in Ranjan's Discord in the help section, I was kind of chatting with a guy about this, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna live stream in 2 hours. It's gonna be much easier to do it there. So yeah, here we go. I am going to go ahead and go, oh yeah, the other thing I want to quickly mention is that everything is in the GitHub, right? So that link should definitely be in the description, but I will be updating all the code from these QA sessions right here in the GitHub. So you can go and check all the ones from the last few QA sessions, and then today we'll make one as well. So what I'm gonna do real quick is create a new folder, and we'll say QA session _ it's the 5th one. What's the date today? May 27th. May 27th, 21. In case we're doing these for years. Okay, perfecto. All right. So we can go ahead and get started. Check out Sosasi's game he posted today. What you think? Who's Sosasi's? I know he was in the chat last time, but is he like another YouTuber? Let's check him out. Is that how you do it? Nope. All right, if you link me, I'll go check that out. But what I would like to do is go ahead and get started with these coins. So I'm gonna import a player, well, I'll make a new scene and we'll call this our coin test world, okay? And then I'm just gonna save this to our QA sessions 5, create folder, coins, what's wrong with me? The Captain Ghost. Okay, so we'll do that, save this world here. And then I'm just going to import one of my other players. This one should be good. I just want something that can move around. That's basically all. We should probably make a new player. I'll make a new player. Okay, so let's just copy this and yoink that, and that should actually be good. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and make a quick player scene here. Just for demonstration purposes, so I'm kind of rushing through this. Let me do this, and I'll say save branch as scene, QA sessions, QA session 5 here, and this will be coin collector player. Okay, hop in there, and I'll go ahead and add a collision shape, and we're also, well, eventually we'll add an area 2D, but for right now I'll just add a sprite. And I'll add a script here, and then we'll go ahead. Oopsies, what just happened? All right, cool. And then let's see if I run this, can I, pick random color, don't want that to happen. We can do this too, but I think, yeah, we'll leave that as that right there. Don't need to randomize. Velocity times acceleration. We don't have constants for acceleration, so constant. And then we need one more constant, max _ speed, and we'll set max speed equal to like 1,000, and acceleration equal to 100. Let's see, can I What else? Oh, Max Val. Oopsies. Okay. Wait, what just happened? There we go. Okay. Cancel. Can I move? Oh, no sprite. Okay. Let me check out chat. Saw some movement here. Let me do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Make sure I can see my crappy little monitor here. Oh, Saucy's on the jam page. Yeah, we will definitely be doing that, but that's gnarly that he already finished. I gotta tell you, I don't even have a gameplay loop finished for my game. I'll show you guys if anyone's interested. I'm pretty happy with how it's coming along. There's a few bugs I need to squash, but it looks so cool. I've done so many things that I've never done before. I mean, and that's really the spirit of the jam, right? Is like kind of pushing yourself. And that's why some people are like, oh, I don't like the jams because of the pressure. But I think you kind of have to go over that because there really is no pressure if you fail. Because the worst case scenario is that you learn something and you've grown as a game developer, which is really the point of a jam, really, is to kind of push you to do that. I'm honestly not even following the theme like that hardcore, because I really am just using the jam as a way to kind of force myself to make some stuff and learn some stuff on a deadline, and that's kind of why I do it. Okay, hold on. Alexa, silence. Sorry about that.
Is it done?
Yeah, well, it's laundry, or I mean, time for the dryer. Okay, so anyway, for the sprite here, I'm gonna go ahead and add the icon.png. There we go, and then I just happen to know that it looks a little too small, so we're gonna change the scale to 2 by 2. Okay, and now I should have something that can move around the screen. Okay, cool, so this guy can move around the screen. That's all we really need to do for the basics. I do need to add a collision shape here, so we'll just add, well, we should probably add a square shape, and then zoom in here. Make that about the size of the icon, not super duper important. And then, actually, yeah, we need to go ahead and add an area here, area 2D, of course, with a collision shape itself. And then I'm gonna go ahead and set that as a circle shape. And then I'm gonna make this like this big. Now, I typically like to color code my collision shape, so the actual collision shape that I use for collisions will be left blue, but the collision shape on any area or something like that, I color code so that way I know. So you can go here and just go to visibility on that collision shape and change it, which is pretty nice. You can also change the default color. I usually change the default color to white in my project, so that way it's easier to color these guys. And you can just like drop one of these, that one won't do anything, like that. Okay, and then here we know this is our coin collection area. Okay, and then, yeah, so here's our player that can move around. He's got this area. Of course, this is not going to be visible at runtime, and if a coin enters this area, we're going to code it so that it must go ahead and we pick that up, right, and it displays that counter. But before we go ahead and do that, we need to make our coin. So I'm going to make the coin next. And to do this, I'm going to start, the base node of this coin will be in area 2D with a collision shape. Okay, I'm then going to add a sprite so we can represent what the coin looks like, and then we're also going to add an area to the area 2D. This is totally kosher, you guys. You can totally add an area to an area 2D. I do it pretty often because we're going to need essentially a detection area. So essentially what we're making is a coin that when you get near it kind of flies towards the player, and this is, I mean, you've seen this in tons of games, right? Ratchet and Clank. Yeah, I mean, everyone knows hopefully what I'm talking about. Yeah, so it's very, very cool. Yeah, you know what? Let me, maybe I'll really quickly show, no, let me finish this and then I'll show the game because this shouldn't take too long. So we're gonna call this coin, okay. We'll add a sprite here. I'm just going to add this. We'll keep it about that size, and then I should be able to modulate it. Is it this and this? Yeah, there we go. Let me take that down to 0. There we go, there's our coin, it's gold-ish. Actually, I wonder, can I make the Godot face visible? Because that would be kind of cool. Oh no, I want to go raw. No, that's not what I want. I want this. Set this to like 1 maybe. I don't know, you can kind of see the Godot face there. What if we set this to like just 10 and 10? Oh, whatever. I don't know. I thought it'd be cool to make like a gold Godot face. I could probably do it with a shader, but that's not the point of this. So here we are. So this is going to be our coin scene. Okay, now we need to go ahead and define this. So this is going to be the area that we actually get picked up in. It doesn't actually matter, but this is just how I'm going to do it. And then, so I'm gonna add a circle shape, and we'll make the, we'll make the radius like, I don't know. Well, here, let me just do it by hand. So when you enter this area, that means the coin will be actually collected. And then, dude, I'm loving the positivity here, Kind Russian Man. It's fantastic. Look at that. Everybody, please hop in the chat. I love hearing what people, other people that get any kind of enjoyment out of my videos. That's like why I do it. So please let me know if you hate something, if you love something, if you want help. Please don't be afraid. Also, you can join my Discord. There's tons of links to it. I won't link to it now. And ask me questions in private. You can DM me there if you don't feel comfortable posting or anything like that. And I won't even mention your name. I'll just answer your question. So go ahead and do that if you feel comfortable. So now we've got the coin area. I've saved the scene. I'm going to go ahead and add a script here. And we're going to do a few things. And the next thing, I'm also going to add a collision shape to this area. And this is going to be called our detection area. Okay. And for this one, I'm also going to do a circle, but I'm gonna set the radius like considerably larger. Like however, this is, when you enter this, the coin will move towards the player. So that is what that is. And I actually wanna that's a little too big. We want it like, probably like that, yeah. And you can actually go in here and change the radius. Yeah, let's just do 300. I like round numbers. Okay, cool. And then like I said, so I will, leave this one as it is, so we know what color that is, and then I like to change the color of this one to be gray, like that, and then we'll just take this down a little bit like that. All right, and there's our detection area. So now we know which is our detection area and which is our collectible area, just like that, nice and easy to see. And then what we're gonna do is just detect, or put a few things in here. So we wanna do the coin entered. Yeah, actually, before we connect those signals, no, yeah, we'll do this first. I'm sorry. So, feet pics. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, if I get 1,000 subs, I'll send you a picture of my feet for sure. Okay, so this is going to be when we're collected. So you can see that under the signals here, I think they've actually added these body shape entered and area shape entered signals. And I don't really know what they do, but you can totally get away with just using the area and body entered signals. Now, area entered is triggered if this area enters another area 2D, right? And then of course, body entered is triggered if you enter a collision shape. So one of these collision shapes of a kinematic body, rigid body, or a static body. So what we want to do here is make it so that because this is the smaller collision shape, right? And this is going to be picked up when we enter our kinematic body's coin collection area. So we want to do on area entered because that's an area. So we'll say on area entered, and we'll connect that here. So on coin area entered, you can see that. And then we're gonna go down to our detection area, and we're gonna say on body entered, right? Because on this, we want to actually detect when the player's body, like this collision shape right here, Yeah. So, where was I? Oh yeah. So, damn it, my dog left me. Okay. So this collision shape that we're going to detect when this collision shape is entering this, which is our actual like body, you can imagine as. And so, yeah, there we go. Now, in order to make those work correctly, what we want to do is make sure we've got correct layers. So essentially, layers are a way of saying, what am I? It's kind of like groups, right? You can say like we have a layer for player, layer for enemy, layer for coin, collectible, what have you. So we go ahead and go down, or it's general, yeah, and you go all the way down here to 2D physics. Oh, now you won't back up, huh? You think you make a mistake? You think you make a mistake? She hates kisses, but I love kisses, so I give her kisses anyway because I'm bigger and stronger. Okay, so you can see I already have some layers here. Layer 1 through 5, we have player, enemy, wall, and player bullet. I'm gonna add a new one, and I'm just gonna call this collectible. Okay, and that's all we need to do. You just need to make sure you have one layer that distinguishes what your player is, and then another layer that distinguishes the collectible, okay? And then I think that should be good. We'll see as we play it by ear here. Then what we want to do here is we can change the collisions of, or essentially what these detect by going here to collision of the area. And we say what layer. So the layer is going to be what layer you are on. So I'll click this 3 buttons here, and we are a collectible because we're a coin. What do we want to collide with, right, is the player, okay? Then we'll go down to the detection area 2D, and we will go to collisions, and it'll say, again, well, so for this one, it actually doesn't matter what we are. But I will just be consistent and put this as collectible, and then I will again say we mask with the player. But you can go up here, and you can go to monitoring or monitorable, right? Monitoring means we are looking for outgoing connections. Monitorable means that other people are looking at us for so like if we enter their area. But this is only for us. This area is only gonna check if people enter us, right? So I'm gonna check monitorable off, because I don't want you know, any kind of wasting processing power, maybe some accidents, maybe you mess up. This just kind of simplifies that. So we'll do that, and then on this one, we want both. Oopsies, right there. We want to have both monitoring and monitorable, and yeah, there you go. Now we can actually do some code here. So, so coin area entered. This is going to be where we actually get picked up. We're going to say queue free. And then I'll go ahead and put an underscore next to area because we're not going to need this one. Okay, and then on the detection area body entered, what we're going to do, and I'm actually going to go ahead and, there's a lot of ways to make your coin move towards the player, right? Dude, thank you, man. I really, really appreciate that, especially that you like the GDScript series. I think I had a little rocky start. I need to finish it up. I've just been, especially with the jam and everything. Okay, if I put you down, dude, you're not coming back up. Sorry, I was talking to my dog. And yeah, so I need to finish that up. So yeah, I'm sorry I haven't, but yeah, I just got kind of swamped with the jam and a lot of stressful life things. But yeah, I should be able to finish that series mostly pretty soon. Anyway. Okay, so there's a lot of ways to make the coin move towards the player. I actually want to quickly just kind of show you, if we can go to Rungeon, help, and I can show you, I think this is it. This is essentially what he did, right? He did direction, and he gets the direction to the player. He does this. I usually do player, you should definitely be using global position here though. You know what, I'll use the way you did first, and then we'll do it the way I would do it. So what I'll do is I'll make a, well, these should actually go above. So if we go into function underscore physics process, I'll pass right now. And then I'll also give myself the ready function here. And what I'll do is I'll say set underscore physics process false, like that, okay? And then I'm also gonna make a variable var target. Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and leave that undefined for right now. This is the same as saying equals null, but I'm just gonna leave it there. Then what we're going to do down here is we're going to say, on detection area body entered, we're going to do 2 things. One is that we're gonna say target equals body, okay? And then we're going to say set underscore physics process true. So if you don't know what this function set physics process does, is it essentially turns the physics process on or off for this script. So this script, on the ready function, we're turning it off, we're saying false, and thus nothing in this code is going to run until we set it true via something else. So that way it doesn't, if you have 100 coins on screen, they're not all using the physics process, you know, until you get near them, and then they will start using the physics process. I lied, I fell guilty to this face because she was looking at me. You know, I was like, I gotta do it. I gotta let you up here. Sorry, I just banged the mic a bunch of times. But she's so cute. I mean, I hope everyone else thinks she's cute because I love her. Okay, yeah, so then essentially we only start the physics process once this happens, and now we have a target right here, which is our body, right? Okay, now we want our coin to move towards the our target. So what we'll do is we'll say var dir equals target, or sorry, global position dot direction to target dot global underscore position, and you have to write that in yourself because they don't know what type of variable target's going to be, so they don't know it's going to be an object. You could type into it as an object if you want, probably. Like I could probably say object, and then this should work. Oh, no, we need to do node 2D. And then we can just say target dot, yeah, there we go. And then it comes in. So you can do that if you want. I'm gonna go ahead and just delete that right now. Okay, so this is the direction we would like to move in. Now what we want to do is say that we want to actually move in that direction. So we'll say global position plus equals direction times, and then I'll make a constant, and I'll say constant speed. Constant speed, I will say max underscore vel, and we'll set this equal to, I think 1,000's good, and then I'll say constant acceleration equals 10. And I'm doing it very small because I want the coin to kind of like start slow and then speed up. So that's what we're gonna do there. So we're gonna do times, I'm sorry, what we wanna do here is say, oh, and then we need to make another var here. So we'll say var velocity. We don't have to do that here. We can actually do that right here. Say var velocity equals, so let's go ahead and we'll plus equals velocity. Okay, so velocity plus equals dir times acceleration. Yeah, why is it not auto-completing for me? I hate typing. Okay, dir times acceleration, and then I'll say times delta. Okay, and then I'll say velocity equals what's happening right now, dude? Oh, because we can't do that because we're defining it. Okay, fine. So what I want to do is say, I'll just make it up here, and we'll say var velocity equals vector 2. Okay. Oh wait, dot 0. Okay, cool. There we go. So then we've got the direction here. The velocity we're going to increase by our direction times our acceleration. So what this is doing is direction, yeah, this gives us a normalized vector pointing in that direction. So it's exactly the same as doing what he did here, which is to say, take our position, subtract the, or I'm sorry, take the position of our target and subtract our position and then normalize it. That's doing the exact same thing here. So in fact, maybe I'll actually just make that direction. So it's very similar to his code. And then we're gonna go ahead and say velocity equals velocity dot clamped, and then we're just gonna say max velocity. And what this will do is just make it so that we can never reach our, or go past 1,000 in terms of the speed here. Oh yeah, sorry, my dog is Beanie. I love her. She's the best little girl. She's adopted, and yeah, she's just amazing. Okay, but this is basically it for the code, right? Is that we are going to, yeah, that's it. So what's gonna happen here, right? We start the game, we enter, we set our physics process to false, so this only runs when someone enters our area, which we do right here. When someone enters that area, we set our target as whatever body has entered that area. In this case, it's gonna be the player. And again, we ensure that the body is the player by putting the direct detection area to only collide with the player. It's not going to collide with enemies, walls, bullets, anything. It's only going to collide with that which is on that layer. Okay, then we say on detection area body entered, body, target equals body, and then we set our physics process to true. Now we have a target, so we can get our direction, which is a direction from us to the target, and then we're going to increase our velocity by some amount times acceleration times this. Okay. And that's essentially how we're going to make the movement go. Now, I think this is probably the more, yeah, you could use the move towards if you want. This is just how I like to do it, especially because it gives you a little more control if you know what you're doing, but move towards is nice because it kind of helps you not have to deal with all this stuff. But I'm just going to do it this way because this is how I understand. And this is also not how I would do it. This is just to kind of get close to how the Captain Ghost was doing it here. However, I am going to do it differently. After I do this, I just wanted to show this. Okay. Now what we need to do is go into our coin collecting player, and we need to go here, and then we need to go to collisions, make sure that he is on the player, and what do we want him to collide with? We want him to collide with collectibles. Well, Yeah, it doesn't actually matter. Probably walls as well. Yeah, that's probably good. So now if we go into our coin test world, we've got our player here, and what I want to go ahead and do is add some coins. Oh, there we go, coin. Okay, and then I'll make some copies of it. We'll grab these coins and move them over here. Okay. And then we should see. Now I can't pick them up yet, but they should all move towards me right now. So if I go ahead and run the scene, yeah, you can see they're moving towards me. Now this is kind of bad for because they're queuing free. Okay, cool. So they kill themselves when they get to me. I'm gonna go ahead and just change the acceleration by 100, so that way it's a little more noticeable. Let's actually make this like faster too. Let's do 2,000. And let's check this out. I think I need to make their areas a little larger here, because it's not happening as like, there we go, let's do that. There we go. You see that? So I get close and they come to me. Now, I don't like this for a lot of reasons. His code's a little different because he had some exponential acceleration, which you can do that. But I think the best way to do it is actually tween their movement to the player. So what I'm going to do is, yeah, this will work, or I guess we could lerp it. I think you can do a tween in the physics process here. Yeah, we'll try it out, So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is add a tween, okay? And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab that tween here by making an onReady variable. onReady var tween equals tween, just like that, okay? Now, in this case, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and comment this out. So now the physics process will never run, right? So yeah, because we've commented that out. And what I'm going to do instead is, actually, So the problem with the tween is that if we tween it to a position, we have to make sure that that position is updating. So instead of what I think I'll do is do this. Yeah, we'll do that. And then I'll say global, we'll say this, so we will start this. And then what I'll do is I'll say tween dot interpolate property. And so we're gonna say self, and then we're gonna say global underscore position. So this is the property that we're going to interpolate. The initial variant is going to be whatever our current global position is. Our final variant is going to be our target dot global position. And then how long do we want this to take? That's up to you. I'm gonna start with 0.4 seconds, see what that looks like. Then you've got all these options for how exactly you want it to move. And I always use this website called easings.net so you can visualize what they do. I'm going to use the circ right here. I think this is good, a nice smooth movement. I typically will use just sine or quad, or typically I stay up here. I also use the bounce for flashing animations. If you do in out really quickly, like you do like a 0.2 second tween with in out, it gives like a cool explosion flash. But anyway, we're gonna use this one because I think that's gonna be nice. So, and I think we want, yeah, we're gonna do ease in circ. So we're gonna do trans circ. Then it asks you ease in, out. I don't even know what out in is, but we're gonna do ease in, right? That's what I said. Yep, we're gonna do ease in, and that's it. So now what we can do, I wanna put this on a new line, then I'll put this on a new line, and we'll say tween dot start. Now, my one concern with this, is just that this might not work. We might have to use a lerp function, which is fine, but I'm gonna go ahead and, oopsies, see what this does. Whoa. Oh yeah, see, so that's the problem is that this is starting constantly. So the way we need this to happen, yeah, is we're actually gonna have to lerp it instead of use a tween. Because there's no way to update the target position as far as I know while this is happening, but that's fine. So what we'll do is we'll say global position, so we can actually get rid of the tween here. Go to coin, and then I'll say global position equals lerp. So from variance, we're gonna say whatever our global position is to target dot global underscore position. Okay, by weight, and then this is what we need to set. So this can change. You can make this increase. Right now, I'm just going to put this as 0.1. Maybe not even that. Maybe like 0.05. Yeah, and then I think this should work. Let's give it a shot. If you can see, that's like pretty linear. I actually want to also change this collision shape to be smaller. So I want to actually look like we're hitting the coin here. Yeah, so they're all coming to me, but kind of the opposite of what I want, honestly. So what you can do is actually change this position. So I'll say var t, and then I'll just say float. Actually, we should probably just do this. Equals 0.05. Okay. How am I commenting? Oh, you just do Command K, and that should do that. I think that's actually a default. You can go into your project settings, or I'm sorry, no, it'll be in your editor settings, I believe, and you can go do shortcuts. Yeah, so toggle comment. Mine's Command K. I think it's that by default, but that's what I use. If you're on any line, so you can go like this and just, oopsies, not Command L. That takes you to a line. Never used that in my life. There you go. And yeah, and so you can comment all that stuff out. And yeah, I think that's really, really handy. But anywhoser, so yeah, I'll set t to this. Then what we'll do in the physics process is increase t. So we'll say t plus equals delta or something like that. Actually, that might be a little too much because that's let's see. We can say t plus equals t, and so that will be an exponential lerp like that. Yeah, that should work. That should work. I would like to kind of like do something. Anyway. Oh, I think it's because my coin collection area is a little too big. That's what it is. Is this? Yeah, that's way bigger. I would like it to actually hit me. There we go. Like get like right up on me there. That's cool. Okay. Yeah, so now they come to me and then I collect them like that. So that's cool. I think that's probably the easiest way to do it is just use the alert function. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, and so you can see what happens here if we print t, right, and then we run this. Well, hopefully I can only get one. So you can see, holy crap, that got big. Yeah. It's weird. Plus equals t. So I guess that's happening a little faster than I thought, doesn't it? Wait, it says plus equals t. T plus equals t. I don't know. I mean, you can also, this is where you can make this essentially a tween, is that you can go look up like a tween function, right? So we can go look up like, yeah, we could make this like 0.005 like that. I don't really understand why exactly. It's doing that. I think that's a pretty nice effect. So yeah, I mean, there's tons of ways you could do this. And you could also do t times t, right? And so this is going to be a much more exponential. So that's cool. Yeah, there's a lot of ways you can do this. You can go actually look up tween functions. Oh, actually, I think on this website, you might be able to get the function. There we go, there's the math function. So we can actually go and get the ease in circ function here. And then we can go, you can see function ease in circ. So I'll literally just yoink this function right here. I don't know if anyone else says that, but whenever I take something like, I always say I'm yoinking it. But so we'll say func ease in circ. Whoa, this is weird. It's highlighting that differently. Huh, interesting. Okay. Okay. And then we want to get rid of that, and then that should be good. Oh, number is not. Okay, X, and then this should be float. Okay, so function ease in circ float return 1 minus square root 1 time minus pal that. All right. Then what we'll do is we'll say t equals ease. Whoa. Ease in circ, and then we can say t, right? And now we should have that working. I mean, it looks very similar, obviously, but yeah. Anyway, so that's what we're doing. We're lerping based upon this function right here, which is cool. And yeah, so that's happening. I mean, and then you could do the exact same thing with tons of other. Like you could grab any of these that you wanted. Actually, just for funsies, let's go ahead and try the. Let's do an ease in bounce. Check this. So this is return. Wait, what? It calls itself? Oh, it needs the ease out bounce. Interesting. My dog making some weird noises, motherfucker. Oh, this is an ugly function. I guess that makes sense because you have to like stop. Yeah, I don't want to convert this to a GD script. But yeah, I mean, you could do that with any of these functions here. This one looks pretty simple. I don't think you can declare constants in a function in Godot. Maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, so yeah, you can just do that with any of these and then do something like that. And then as you modify t, we'll lerp from this position to this position by that amount. And we're changing that amount via this function. So that's how that works. This is how I would do it. I think that's probably my preferred method. Yeah, lots of ways you could go about this though. I don't see where t is used. Okay, so damn right, mother. Ah! Okay. Whoa. Okay, so this is weird. Let's say, what if I do print t? So that's exactly, you're dead right. I forgot, t should be going there. So it's still equaling 0, which is weird. 1 minus square root. So we'll say t equals, and we'll say return t. Let's see, does that change anything? No, that's weird. 1 minus square root that times pal that. What if this is just 1? Nope, that's really, really fast. Okay, 0.1. Huh, okay, so I guess this doesn't work. So what I'll do instead is do what we had going on before here, which is, oh, no, this is because this needs to be plus equals t. There we go. Now we can set this back equal to 0.05. Right? Nope, 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 nope. That's apparently not it. Which is weird. That is very odd. So, but that's not a problem with this. That's a problem with the function. I don't understand why this doesn't work. I guess I just don't understand how those functions work. But that should have worked. But here we can just do plus equals t, and then now we can do this, and now this should be exponential. Whoa, that was fast. So again, I'm gonna do 0.05. Maybe, yeah, I'll try if t is that small. Oh, you know what we should also probably do is do this times delta. There we go. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Now we can make this a more reasonable number. There we go. Okay, and so I think that's a much smoother thing. And then again, we can make this exponential by doing this. Yeah, so lots of ways you could do that. Oh, it's because, okay. So just to make sure, because it should, it's pretty odd. Ah, okay, I see. I see. It's not getting that much bigger here, is it? Ah, no, you'd want to do t divided by t, right? There we go. T divided by t times delta. Yeah, there we go. Because then it gets bigger. But that's pretty massive. Yeah. Anyway, that's how you would do something like that. I don't know. I knew more about like how I wanted to do stuff like this beforehand, but like I don't know why it's not. I'm interested. Now I'm really perplexed. Like, why was this isInCirc function not working? So if I do t. Yeah, so we should, if we're providing x here, then it should be 1 minus the square root of 1 minus power of x, so x squared. Is it because that number's getting smaller? Like if we do this, whoa. Huh. I guess because this becomes 0, because this is getting smaller. This is making that number smaller. Maybe this needs to be isOutCirc. Check that out. But see, that shouldn't matter. Maybe it does, I don't know. Oh, now we got an error. Invalid operands float and nil in operator plus. There should not be nil. Did it just get so small they considered it nil? Like what? Oh, no, because we need to say return. That's weird. Okay, so that one's working, but that's insane. That's moving very, very fast. Let's do 0.01 maybe. Oh, but this also probably has to do with times delta. Okay. There we go. That's exactly what I wanted. Okay, finally. That's how. I don't know why the isOut didn't work. I guess because isOut makes things smaller. This only works with tweens that just use isOut or isin whenever you want. You have to understand the maths a little bit, I guess. Now I'm saying maths like I'm Runjin or something. But you have to understand the math a little bit to understand that you can't do this because it's just making this t smaller, and that's not what we want. So I guess we could, yeah. You could actually do that. I'm incorrect. We would just have to do target.goal position, then to our position, and then t. Okay, I see. I understand math. I'm very good. So I'm sorry if anyone's totally lost. I'm gonna go ahead and move on now. Yeah, so it's so funny because I never think when I'm actually perplexed by a problem and I don't understand it, I get really into it and I don't even think to look at the chat. And you guys solved the problem in 10 seconds. So it's like, I need to get better at doing that. The nervous beehive. Okay. Oh yeah, Control K. Sorry. If you're not on Mac, it's Control K. If you're on Mac, it's Command K. Whatever you guys use on your computers. Doesn't exponential lerp sound a bit weird given that I stands for linear? So yeah, so you're linearly interpreting the number based upon a value that is changing exponentially. So the value t by which we're moving is changing typically linearly, right? So we don't change that amount, we move by like 0.1. But in this case, what we're doing is we're changing the value by which it is interpolating at a value which is not linear. So that value itself is increasing linearly. So yeah, that's why, yeah. That I said that, I don't know if that's actually correct, but that's what I meant by that. Mateo, what's going on, bro? You're absolutely right. You're the one who solved my problem about not returning a value. Danilo, what's going on, brother? This is live. Yes, this is live. Absolutely. If you have a question, shoot one. I think I'm done with this. Oh, if you put 0.5 in that function, 0.99 comes out. How would I make a follow behavior where the follower mimics the exact movement of the leader, like trail segments in a snake game. The typical follow behavior takes the shorter route, which isn't what I want. Ah, I see what you're saying. Okay. Okay, so anyway, I am just going to go ahead and quickly, can I make note of the time? Does it tell me? I think it's on here on the OBS Studio, I can see. Okay, so it's 46 minutes, 17 seconds. I'm gonna start writing this down because when I do timestamps later, it's gonna be nice. So hopefully for other people, and if you come back to this, the whole video will be timestamped so you can jump around and see what you want. So I'm trying to write those down now rather than having to skip through a 3-hour long stream and figure out when I did certain things. So it is 46 minutes that I finished this, damn it, okay. 46 minutes, fin, coins. Okay, cool. Make a note. Okay, cool, so let's check it out. Yeah, some guy did that for me once, and I was like, he probably did that out of like frustration that I hadn't done it. And I feel that because there's a lot of YouTubers I watch, I'm like, why is this not timestamped? Like, I wanna hear you talk about 2 things, and this video is 3 hours long. But anyway, okay, how would I make a follow behavior? That's what I'm trying to figure out. How to make a follow behavior where the follower mimics the exact movement of the leader, like tail segments in a snake game. Ah, okay, so I think, like anything in programming, there's a lot of ways that you could probably go about this. But I'm trying to think. So, a kind of hacky way that I just thought of, right? And I guess we can actually start this. So what I'll go ahead and do is, again, I'm going to go ahead and rip this code. Yeah, we'll just grab this code exactly. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and make a new player and new scene here. So again, I'll make another 2D scene, and this is gonna be follower test world. Save this, we'll go up here. Oops, I'm still in here, your folder. Follow the leader. Okay, follow the leader, save, okay. And then again, I'm gonna go ahead and make a kinematic body, and then I'll go ahead and save this in the same place, and we'll save this as leader, okay. Leader, okay. I'll add a script here. Oh my gosh, why does that happen? That's one thing I don't understand. Like, if I'm in the script, it should know that I'm not in the scene tree trying to use the add node function. I'm trying to use the command all function, but that's why that happened. I'm not even explaining that. That's why that's happening to me. Okay, go ahead and add a collision shape and a sprite. Cool, and then again, we'll make our sprite twice the size. Okay, and then I'll add the collision shape as a square, and we'll make it about that size. Cool, cool. By the way, how's the music, everybody? Everybody liking it? Is it too loud? How's my voice over it? It's DOS88, I think I've got his name up there. Awesome guy, tons of free music. I'll be using it in my upcoming game. Create a queue of the leader moves. Nostalgic Leaf, okay? That's what I was gonna do. You can't just be telling people there's a big reveal coming, okay, bro? that is what I was gonna do. I'm essentially kind of like we'll make a list called points. Every so many frames, what we'll do is we'll make a position. We'll essentially like make note of our global position, and then we'll have some points. Then what we'll have is our follower will have access to that list, and we will say self.move towards position that is at the end of the list. And I'll show you what that is in a sec. Yeah, okay. Anyway, but I do think this is a really cool idea, so I'm gonna go ahead and go for this. So right now, this guy should already be able to move around. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, now what we're going to do here is we're gonna make a variable called var points, and this is going to be an empty array. Okay, and you could type in this is essentially going to be a pool vector array. Then I'm gonna make a new function, and we're gonna say function, create underscore points, okay, and we'll say pass right now, Now, something I always forget, I'm like, what the hell's wrong, is I make a function that's supposed to go in the physics process and I forget to put it in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put this in there preemptively before we even make the function. Okay, and all we're gonna do, I also want to define something up here. So we'll say, put that right here, I'll say constant, and then this will be like, it's like max points, okay? And I'm gonna set this equal to 5 by default, okay? So what we're going to do, oh, I also wanna make a variable called frame, sorry. Because I don't wanna add a point every single frame. So we'll say var frame equals 0, and we can do this, I actually don't need these or that. Yes, I should actually probably get rid of that from these ones as well, because we don't need that at all. Okay. Again, I'm gonna actually, let me do that right now. Let me push what I just did to GitHub. There we go. There we go, okay. Solenoid. Solenoid is the name of the game that I'm making. It's a play on solenoid, which is an electrical device. And then solo, so it's one guy, he's electric, there you go. QA sessions, okay. This can be Q5_1, okay, and push order. All right, cool. Now that all that coin script is now on, at GitHub, and that link, I dropped it, and it should be in the description, but I also dropped it if you scroll up in the chat. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to this guy's script though. So we've got points, right? Frame, and then max points. Okay, and that should be all we need. So right here, I'm gonna go frame. Yeah, so I'm gonna say frame plus equals 1. And then here, I'm gonna say if frame modulo, we'll do every 5 physics frames, equals 0, pass. So just really quick, if you don't know what this does, modulo essentially returns the remainder of a division. So we'd say, for instance, what frame is it? If it's 1 divided by 5 is going to have a remainder. The only thing that's not going to have a remainder is 5 divided by 5. So yeah, we'll say if frame divided by 5 equals 0. In fact, in this case, we could actually, I'm gonna do this. Frame equals 5. And then I'll say frame equals 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm trying to make sure, because that would mean that the first frame on the 5th frame, yeah, so every 5th frame. Okay, good, cool. Sometimes you need to put this below this in order to actually get that, otherwise you're doing 4 frames. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, it's fine. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna show you that game in a sec, because it's not really 3D. It's hardcore 2.5D. In fact, that I'm actually still gonna enter it as 2D, because it's a 2D game that I just stuck on a 3D viewport and tilted, so that way you have like this cool, like weird perspective. And I added a bunch of light maps to make things look really 3D, but it's totally not. It's really cool. I just on a grid, I'm glad you're doing it with the global position. How did you already figure that out, dude? I haven't even written global position on here. Okay, but yeah, that's what I'm doing. Essentially, and then, so what we're gonna do is every 5th frame, we're going to add a point. So we're going to say, here, we're going to say, points, dot append, and then we're gonna say global position. Okay, and what this will do is add a vector2 within the list points. And then what we're also gonna do is then check. So we're gonna say if points dot, I think it's length, no, it's size, sorry. If points dot size, and this gets the number of points in the array, is greater than max underscore points, then points dot erase. I'm trying to remember, because there's erase and remove. One of them, yeah, I think we want remove. Yeah, we want to remove based on the position. Okay. So we want to do. Oh, actually, I think we need to do pop back. pop back. Because for, oh no, that was just, I'm sorry, that was just with the, we can do this. We can say remove -1. Not remove, but remove. Okay. And so let's go ahead and run this, see if the game breaks. Yep, something's happening. So I don't really understand, because in Python, you should be able to do this, right? We want to remove from this should remove the thing on the back, but so here, I'll just do pop back. And then now we should not get the errors. Cool, and I think this is because, why is this actually? Function move and slide, okay, let's just do this. This is how you ignore things. I hate this, I think this should be different, but like if I don't need to use this value, and I almost never do in my games, and I hate having this ugly hashtag in my code, but this is the only way to not get that error, which is annoying. Okay, anyway, so there we go, and now if we go ahead and do this, so every time we can say print points, you can see that now we've got how do we remove? Well, we can do this. I can do this. I can say remove. Oh, no, I'm stupid. We want to do pop underscore front. Someone probably said that already. Let's see. Okay, I do this on the grid, blah, blah, blah. For the GoGodot Jam, is a 3D game with 2D gameplay considered 3D or 2D for the compo? I actually don't even minus equals function, underscore equals function. I actually don't know what that means. I'm actually much better at GDScript than Python. Okay, let's see. Now this should work. There we go. Okay, so you can see it's making an array with that stores our last 5 points. In fact, we probably, yeah, I think that's how we'd want to do it. And then what we'd want, there's a lot of ways you could do this. You could actually make this a much larger array, or you could even make this smaller. Okay, yeah, here's how we do it. So the max points is basically going to correspond to, well, that with the frame here is going to correspond to the length of the player. So if we go here and we create a follower, right? So I'll go ahead and add, and I'll say follower. There's a lot of ways that you can, why am I doing that? Kinematic body 2D. So there's a lot of ways that you can do this. What I've been doing recently is like I'll make a child, right? And then what I'll do is I'll say, you know, get this node, and then remove myself as a child from here, store the ID of that, and then do it that way. So for instance, in this, well here, I'll make this, I'll say save branch as scene. This should not be in here, but in here. And then we're gonna call this guy the follower. I mean, I spelled that wrong. Follower. And then what I'll do is we'll go into here and add this. And then what we'll say is like func underscore ready, and we'll say remove, I know we'll say get underscore parent dot remove child self. Okay. Right? So we remove ourself, and then we add ourself as a child of this node, which you can do in several ways. You can just do like a get parent loop, but I think you can do get underscore tree dot root, and then we can say dot add child self. Okay? And that should work, except we might want to do a call deferred child, but this is fine. So essentially that, and then what we want to do also is we'll say var leader, and we'll set that equal to null. And then right here, what we'll do is we'll say leader equals get underscore parent. And then here, what I'll do is I'll just say leader. Oof. I've been having some weird ear pains because I recently just like cleaned out my ear and it's like, yeah, a little sore. I don't know why. Maybe I'm getting an infection, that would suck. Okay, so function ready leader equals get parent, leader dot remove child self, get tree. So then, yeah, anyway. Skeleto, what's going on? Yeah, okay, so this is QA, but after I finish this, which should be soon, I'm going to show off my current progress on my game because I'm pretty excited. Yeah, okay, so debug GDScript, return value discarded. Oh, debug. Why don't I have that? Is it in project settings? Or is it editor settings? General. Debugger? You'll have to give me, yeah, I'll look that up after, but that's a really handy tip. Nope. Okay, anyway, okay, cool. So leader equals get parent, leader.remove child self, leader.add child self. Okay, so anyway, what this will do is just make it so that we follow, that we are now a global child, right? We're a child of this scene. So we'll go ahead and add our leader scene here. And then we don't even need to add our follower scene. There's other ways you can do this. Like I said, I actually probably should do it another way in case you want to add your follower. Like for instance, in my player script here, you can see that I've got a global script called players, or I'm sorry, I've got a autoload script called globals, and I've got a variable called players, which I set equal to myself. Then what you could do is spawn this anywhere, and then you could say, for instance, leader equals globals dot player, right? But there's some problems with that, that this is bulletproof essentially, which is nice. Unless you're doing my very odd case of making a 2D game in a 3D thing, in which case that breaks. Okay, we'll add a collision shape. And now we'll add a sprite. And then to differentiate, we'll leave him a little smaller. Do like 1.5 by 1.5. Uh-oh. Okay, and then I'll do the visibility here, and we'll make him like he's a little green Godot guy. What if we do like just 1.2? Maybe just 2. That's fine. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and then maybe I can reduce this a little bit, make it a little more cool. And this is like 1.2. That's fine. Anyway, about right. Why do I do this? It doesn't even matter. Okay, cool. There we go. So there's our follower. He's green. And then what we'll do is go ahead and say function underscore physics process pass, and then I'll say function follow pass, and here I'll call follow. Okay. And what we'll do is we'll say self dot global position equals leader dot points dot pop underscore front. Oh, I wonder if that would work. Now, there's going to be some inherent problems with this, but let's go ahead and give it a shot, huh? Oh. Involves blah, 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 with value type nil. So what we'll do is we'll say if leader dot points. And we'll do this. See, but now it's like exactly on me. So maybe we do pop back. No, same deal. Oh, no, that's why. Okay. Call underscore deferred underscore child self. Oopsies. And then we'll do the same thing here. I'll say getTree.root dot call deferred. Oh, we can actually do this. Here we go. Okay. Okay, so now he's following exactly. But obviously he's like a little, do you pop front. Same deal. He's a little too. Oh, what we can do is make him sit at the end. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll say if leader dot points equals dot points. Yeah, and then we'll say and leader dot points equals, oh no, dot size equals leader dot max underscore points. There we go. So now he will stay at the end of the trail. Yeah, look at that. All right, that works beautifully. I mean, so now we want smoother motion. So what we'll do here is go into the leader, and we'll do two things. So for one thing, what you can do is just get rid of this whole frame thing in general. So what I'll do is delete this. We don't need that anymore. And then I'll do this. Oopsies. Okay. And then I'm just gonna comment this out, even though it's not that important. And then what I'll do is I'll change the max points to like, I don't know, like 30? No, let's do 60, okay? There we go, and now you've got a really smooth movement. So here we can do 50. Or no, let's do like, let's do 20. Look at that. So now he goes exactly where I go. Now you can make him stop before the player. There's probably a lot of ways to do that. One way would just to be that we can do this. Yeah, actually, we'll do this really quickly. Okay, and then we'll say if leader dot points dot size. Yeah, whatever. If leader dot points dot size equals I don't know. Let's say like leader dot max points divided by 10. We'll say like times 0.1, and we'll do this. We'll say int to make sure that we get that right, because we want to make sure that this could be a float. We want to make sure that's an int. Yeah, let's do this actually. Is greater than that. Oh, actually, and then in which case we can just do that instead of this. Right, so we can do this and then come over here, do this. So and leader.points.size is greater than int that. That's actually better. Okay, not follower, we don't want to add cancel. Okay, that's the problem. Okay. Okay, I don't know. I'm trying to just play around here. This should be... is greater than... Let's just like hard code this. It's greater than 10. It shouldn't keep moving though. That's why that's weird. Anyway, you'd have to play around with that to get him to stop. But you can see that he's following exactly where I went, and you can see like if I, for instance, go like this. Here, let's actually make this longer so that way I can really demonstrate that. Let's make this like 40. So if I go like this, and then I go like in circles, you can see that he's doing all of that. He's doing exactly what I did, which is cool. Anyway, so that's one way that you could do that. And then, yeah, I don't really know why, because it should only do this. We actually don't need to put self here. It should only do this. Let's see, chat probably told me. Look at all that. Akinos, Vienna, I've heard that it would be considered 3D from redefined. Yeah, so I think he's talking about 2.5D games and the fact that you're using like 2D sprites just on like 3D. Essentially, it really is 3D, but you've just used like essentially 3D things with 2D sprites attached. So they're like billboards, so they move like to and from like this, but they're still flat, but they're 3D. Mine is literally just a 2D game that's tilted, right? So you could do this with a shader. I've just done it in 3D. So I think mine does count as 2D, but we'll see. I don't really care, to be honest. I think it does. I think, honestly, it is 2D. How are you? What are you doing? Okay. Yay, I'm trying a 3D game too and have questions regarding to it. Nice, I've got a question, but it's a noob one about how animation player node works. I mean, how to change position of a sprite in a specific frame and save it, for example, like move it up a bit. It can be useful to make shadow power-ups like, yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and push this to GitHub. Then we're gonna go ahead and I'm going to pin Skeleto's question. So that way everyone can see that's what I am answering. But before we do that, I do want to show off my GoGodot Game Jam game because a few people have asked about it and I'm pretty proud of it. Let's also do this. So I'm gonna go ahead and this is gonna be QA5_O2. Okay, and push origin. So now this code is up on there if you want it. I should get rid of this. That's not necessary. Because look, it's crazy. I don't understand actually why. And I would really like to figure that out. But did he just do it? Oh, I get it now. I actually do get it. I'm not going to finish it off. Ah, fuck, I should. Okay. The reason this is happening is because this is still happening. This isn't stopping. So that code right here, this was working, but yeah, okay. So rather than do that, what I want to do is check. I'll say if, so I'll say if global position dot distance to leader dot global underscore position, and then here, so we're essentially saying if the distance to his position is greater than I don't know, let's say like 200, right? That's gonna be like your following distance. Then we do that. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, there's some kinks to work out for sure, but there you go. Now he like stops there. I mean, there's ways to essentially like make sure that he stops slower and make sure that he doesn't like automatically start spawning at you and stuff like that. You can connect signals between them, and so you can say that like when stopped, right, then you stop making those things. So there's all kinds of things that you can do about that. So for instance, in the leader, we could make it so that when input vector equals 0, or for instance, if input vector equals 0 or if velocity equals vector 2.0, then we stop this, right? We could say stop creating points. So yeah, lots of ways you could do that. I'm gonna go ahead and clear these frames here because we don't want that. That's not gonna be very smooth. That's how I did it in my line 2D trail that I used in the game that I'm about to show you right now. I'm pretty excited. Okay, Godot code, GoGodot Jam, here it comes. So shit. No. Wait, what? Oh, okay. Okay, so this is, I was having some problems because I'm using GitHub and iCloud. And so my iCloud was screwing up my GitHub. So I made this a .nosync file. If you know how this works, this makes it so iCloud ignores this file. And now I'm just using GitHub on both my laptop, which I finally got fixed, and my desktop. So anyway, here's the file. I thought it was gone. I thought iCloud deleted it all. That would have sucked. Okay, so you can see here's what I'm doing. So here is, I think I just moved it, which I don't want to do. Yeah, I did, huh? Yeah, I did move it. Anyway, there's no gameplay loop, but I've gotten the first basic enemies, the destroyable wall that is going to be a big point of gameplay, right? You have to destroy this. And then also the main player is basically entirely done. I've gotten even some sounds in there. So yeah, so we'll go ahead and check this out. But you can see the entire game is actually just 2D. It's just 2D, but I put it on this viewport and tilted it. And what that does, so we can go ahead, I'll first actually run the 2D game. So we'll go here to the 2D world. And if I run this, you can see that it's very flat, like, right? It's flat, it's ugly, it sucks. But what we're gonna do is go here to the 3D viewer, and if I go ahead and run this, you can see we've got this cool, and so these are the first enemies. I'm calling them screamers. I don't know if you can hear the volume. They can't kill you yet, but they work essentially. Okay, so you can shoot them like that. So there's how you do that. And I really like the movement. Here are the trails, did these cool line trails like this. Right now there's a little bit of a bug that if I change the screen size, it no longer looks at the mouse anymore. I don't really know what that's all about. Looks like there's a few little like buggy glitches, but yeah. Let's come over here and then we can like take out, so this is a barrier, so you can't get through this until you destroy it. And so, like that, and then you can go through. So that's essentially, those are gonna be some gameplay loops. So for instance, you can see that there'll be like a wall there, and then you'll have like enemies spawning, and you have to take out the wall while dodging the enemies and killing the enemies and doing stuff to get through the wall. That'll be like one, for instance, way you could do this. So I've challenged myself to use some shaders. I think I'm only using one shader right now. There might be another one, but the one shader, as you can see, is the chromatic aberration. When I shoot, it aberrates like that. I've also got a nice screen shake. I've got a little bit of knockback, stuff like that. Let's see, what are people saying? Dude, thank you. Oh, see you, Nervous Beehive. Thanks for coming, hanging out. Yeah, dude, I'm really liking it. I don't know if you can hear the noises. I've done a lot with the sound. Can you guys hear the sound in the game? But I've done a lot with the sound. So it adjusts. So their sound, I've basically made a faux Doppler effect, if you know what that means. The closer they get to you, the pitch changes. I'm sorry, not the pitch, but the volume changes. And then also based upon their angle, their turning, and their speed, the pitch of their sound changes. So you can hear, I think it sounds cool. I haven't added a sound effect. I think he got stuck on the wall. They don't really have the fantastic AI quite yet, but yeah. And then, yeah, all right. I mean, that's it so far. But that's quite a bit. And then it's a tile set, so making the levels, I should be able to make at least the first 3 levels once I finish the tile set. And then what I would like to do is probably make because the background's kind of ugly right now. Like it is, the point is that I want to feel like very, you're on this path that's floating above like something crazy like this. Right now you could just fly off. But so this is a parallax effect background, and I'm gonna have like multiple layers of things going on here, and then obviously right now it's just the default gray, but it's gonna be like a cool, yeah, I'll probably add a shader, do some cool stuff there. This is not a shader, this is just a PNG image that I have there, but anyway, okay, let's get back to the Q&A, because that's not what this is for. I haven't been streaming it because I've really been like it's hard. I know that I've got a lot of scope creep potentially happening on that game, so I'm really trying to be smart about it. Yeah, and try to like really grind. I'm not as efficient while I'm streaming. If you can't tell, like a lot of this stuff would take me 10 seconds to make, but it takes me a lot longer because I'm streaming. And yeah. Anyway, okay. So let's see what chat has to say. I'm glad you guys like it. That's a really great to hear. Oh no! The sound is quiet. I can hear it, but it's pushed into the background. Beginning here, that's the look I wanted, but haven't tried any 3D yet. So that is literally 2D, you guys. I literally just took a viewport. Let's see, I probably still have it. I can open it and just really quickly show you. So what I've done here is we've got a viewport, and here's the node. So this is it. This is the game. There's nothing special about it. And then all I do is I attach it to this viewport. I put what this is a mesh instance, and then I take that mesh instance and I just go down here to, I think those should all be. Nope, that's not right. Oh yeah, because I don't mess with the transform. I went to the rotation degrees and rotated it on the x-axis by 20 degrees this way, and then I just put a camera looking at that, and that's all I did here. And everything works perfectly doing this except few bugs I found. One is if you put a world environment on a 2D world, it screws it up. So, or globally. So, or I'm sorry, as long as this is, if you put this as a canvas layer, it screws it up. So you need to do, I leave it as clear color, and it affects everything from the 3D environment. That's bug number one. Bug number two that I still haven't solved yet is that if I resize the window, the mouse position no longer works. Okay, so if I go ahead and resize the window here, you can see that it no longer responds to my mouse position, which is a big problem because not everybody is going to be able to play this game in a massive like 1920 by 1080p resolution. Some people are going to have to play on smaller computers, and so yeah, that's a big problem. I've thought about several things. One thing I wanted to do was potentially make it so that you control your movement with these keys, and then you can shoot with either the mouse or the space button right now, and then it's just full auto. And then you aim with the right keys, right? So I was gonna have you move around like this, and then you point the direction you want to shoot. Potentially even not, what's it called? Potentially not even like requiring you to press a shoot button, but just like when you use your keys to aim, you shoot in that direction. Yeah, that's just one way you could do it. This game, whoa, we got a lot of errors here in the debugger. Oh yeah, okay, that's just, yeah, that's fine. This is one attempt at fixing it that didn't work. I was trying to use the 3D mouse position and see if that would work to work here, but it does not. Oh well. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna quit that. We're gonna get back to answering Skeleto's question. I'm gonna go check my Discord because I'm getting some pings there. And I wanna see, so it's in, people are bringing here, General. Saw that, okay. Questions, announcements, okay, cool, no one in there. Okay, cool. Yeah, okay, so Captain Ghost has joined late, but I think I solved it, so go ahead and check that out. We could just quickly even go over that, but I do want to get to Skeleto's question because he's actually been wondering this for quite a while. How to connect that to your 2D world scene? You literally, so you just put the whatever 2D scene you'd like to be viewed as a child of the viewport node. I'll actually go ahead and just toss this link in here to the Reddit post where I was told about this. So I'm gonna go here, profile. Did that not work? What did not work? Get any likes? 3. All right. Cool. So I was actually trying to make a shader that did this. So this whole game is inspired by this. If you know what this is, you're an OG. This is the Sly Cooper 2. No, this is Sly Cooper 3, where Bentley hacks computers. He plays this game. Loved it. Very simple 2D game. But so I'm just making it like hardcore, lots of graphics, adding a bunch of new features and gameplay things that I think would be cool in a story-driven narrative. Probably won't finish 90% of that for the jam. But anyway, I actually did figure out how to make a shader that works for this, but it just doesn't look nearly as good as using the Godot system. So let me go ahead and paste that link in here. I think the mouse coordinates in your 2D elements are in different spaces. You'll probably need to map mouse coordinates to local space first. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But the problem is, all I want is the mouse coordinates or relative to the screen size rather than to the 2D viewport or anything like that. Because it's tilted, I would imagine that they might do something like that. But as long as I assumed until this point that Get Global Coordinates got the screen size, right? Or at least got the utmost root and then got it there. But for some reason, because it's not doing that. So yeah, I do have to figure out doing essentially what you're saying, but I just don't know exactly how I would do that. Okay. So now let's go back up to Skeleto's question, because now I'm going to try and answer that. Yeah, Get Global Mouse Position doesn't work, Simon. I don't know why. I think it's like what Danilo was saying. It's like, or I don't know if that's how you say it. Danilo Costa Viana. But yeah, okay. Nice. I've got a question, but it's a really new one. Can you explain a bit how Animation Player Node works? I mean, how to change the position of a sprite in a specific frame and save it, for example. Yeah, so Rengen's got a pretty decent video on this, but I'll go ahead and we'll make a new 2D scene, okay? And then here I'll just add a sprite, and then to that I'll add an animation player, okay? And then to the sprite node, we'll go to my icon. Oh my God. I use Command A a lot usually, which is why that's such a pain for me. And I'm gonna make this bigger to a 2. Okay, and then we'll go to the animation player, and this is it. It's down here at the bottom. Now, if you ever get lost, right, and you want it, for instance, I click the sprite node, and like, let's say a lot of times this will like go away. You won't be here. I don't know why it's not happening. It happens all the time on accident, but of course I can't reproduce it. So something like this, and you're like, oh, well, I want to animate keyframes. Go down here and then click on animation. You don't have to click on the animation player. And then now what you should be able to do is, well, no, of course it's not. Oh, because we haven't started an animation. But now you're actually in the animation studio, and then you can click on any node you want and go to the animation. You can actually animate any node in the scene tree, but note that animation player uses the exact path. So it uses like essentially get node. So if you change the name of something or move it, it can break it, which is a problem. It's pretty good about fixing it, but I don't know. I've run into a lot of difficulties with that. So we've got our sprite. I'm gonna make a new animation, and just to show you the very basics, we'll make a stretch first. So new animation, I should have named it, and then I'll go, you can click here on animation. You can load animations from other animations players that you've saved. You can save one, duplicate, which is really handy. I use that a lot. Rename, edit transitions, open inspector. Edit transitions is pretty complex, but we'll just go to rename here, and I'll call this stretch. Okay. Now, how long do we want this animation to be is what we'll set right here. I think I want this to be, let's do like 0.6 seconds. I'm sorry, not 0.16, but 0.6 seconds. Then we can go ahead and change our zoom value, zoom in like that. And now you can see this is a snap, so it's gonna snap every 0.1 seconds. And I think that's actually gonna be good for this. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll change this to 0.05. So then it's rather than every 10th of a second, it's every 20th of a second. Okay. You can also go up to playback options and change the speed at which something plays back, but I would recommend what you try and do is actually just make things line up the way you want them to here, and so that we don't have to mess with this. And just, there's a lot of reasons for doing that, but just trust, okay? Just trust. Okay, so now we've got this. This looks nice. And what I'm going to do is essentially we can go here and we can click this keyframe. And what this will do is this will insert tracks and keys. We're not going to use Bezier curves, and click create. And you can see what it's done is it keyed our position and rotation degree at this frame, right? Now, I actually don't even care about the position and rotation degree, so I'm going to go ahead and delete those. And what I'm going to do is go over here to my sprite. I'm going to go to scale, and I'm going to go ahead and click that, and click create. And now I've got a scale. Then what I want to do is halfway through, I'm going to go ahead and reset the scale to be, we'll put the X at like 5, right? Okay, and then I'll key that as well. And then what we can do, you can see that we come here and it stretches like that. Now if we can go to this button here, and this is the loop function. Now you can see it goes like this and then comes back. Now if we play this right here, you can see that now we've got something that stretches like that. Now Skeleto's question, how to change the position of a sprite in a specific frame and save it, for example. So the animation player will not work for movement unless you're trying to make very reproducible movement. Like you can only make it do the exact same thing every time. There are ways to make it a little more dynamic, but it's pretty complicated and hacky that I have figured out, or at least thought of. I haven't actually even done it, but I've thought of in my sleep. That's kind of weird. I have like realizations in my dreams about code sometimes. Okay. Oh, link to my Discord server. Absolutely. Let's go ahead and do this. Invite people. Copy and paste. Cool. There we go. None of these people. Oh yeah, I'm not good at saying this. I don't know. I always forget. But please subscribe to the channel if you're not. I realized the other day is I have a lot of people that come hang out with me all the time. I know them by name, and they're not subscribed to me. So I'm assuming they just haven't realized that they're not subscribed to me. Maybe they just don't like me enough. But yeah, it helps out the channel a lot, especially as I try to make more and more videos. It's nice to know that they are actually doing well. Rather than spending 20 hours making a video and then it gets 200 views, kind of hurts. If you could subscribe, please consider doing so. I also don't want to make you feel like you have to do that. So anyway, so this is going to be, we're going to go up here. Yeah, if you don't like me or if you just don't like subscribing to people, feel free not to, but I would appreciate them. So we'll say animation player examples. Save. Okay. Now, we can go ahead and make a new animation, and we'll say move. Okay. And then, of course, we might want to, for instance, make... Now, I'm kind of confused. Skeleto, if you're still here, can you expand on that in a specific frame and save it, for example? So I'm just going to do what I interpret that to mean. So what we'll do here is we'll go up to the sprite, and I'll, again, just click this. By default, again, it's just going to get the position and rotation degrees. I actually don't need the rotation degrees. I just want the position. And then what we'll do, so we'll keep it at that. And then I'll go ahead and I'll move it like over here, let's say. Okay, and so let's just put that at 1,000, and I'll key that frame, and then I'll go ahead and put this on that. And now if we play here, you can see that it's moving back and forth. It's moving pretty quickly, and we can change that in a number of ways. I'm gonna go ahead and make this 2 seconds, and then we'll go ahead and move it over to 1 minute. You can also, at any point, if you've selected a frame like this, we can right-click anywhere and you can click Insert Key. I'm sorry, Duplicate Key, and what we'll do is we'll make a copy of that key. You'll also see this white line up here, and essentially what that means is that nothing has changed in between this frame and that frame, and that's sometimes actually useful to do. Delete that key there. You can also click on a key, and up here you can see that you've got several things you can change. So you can change. I don't actually know what the time property does. Oh, this is the point in time on the point in time. Well, that's weird. That's the point in time on your timeline here that this actually is at. There we go. Easing, I think this has to do with things that you can change how quickly they actually like come into there, stuff like that. Let's see if does that do anything here? Oh yeah, that's sweet. I've actually never even played with that. Let's do that here. Let's do 3. Okay. 3, and then what I'll do, interesting, yeah. I don't know why it's not stopping slowly, but anyway, so that's how you do that, and then you can actually change the values of these there. You can also just move everything on screen and capture those. Now, you want to go ahead and save a value at a specific frame. Now, the way you do this is a little more complicated, but not much. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and add a script here. Okay, and then what I'm gonna make is a function. I'm gonna say function, this is gonna be store underscore position, or store pos, and then we'll say position, okay? And then what I'll do here is we'll say var stored underscore position. And then I'll just say vector 2 because I'm not going to define it, and then what we'll say is we'll say stored position, oopsies, stored position equals position. Actually, that could be a problem because this is shadowing. Pause. There we go. Because position shadows the actual the position property right here, which is a problem. Okay. Now, you can do this 2 ways. You can actually provide the global position or the actual position. Oh, no. We would say we actually don't need a variable here. So we want to store what position we're at. So we would just say position. Okay. And then what I'll actually do here is I'll say print stored position. Okay. Now what we can do from the animation player is we can click add track and go to call method track. You can see we've got several different tracks here: 3D transform, Bezier curves, which I haven't really gotten into too much. Audio playback, I actually honestly have not gotten into much more than the call method track. And property track, I used the Bezier curve track once. I think Runjan goes over that in his, which allows you to kind of control the smoothness of things moving there. And then we also have the, So we're gonna use the call method track. Then which node do we want to call a method from? The sprite node. You actually don't even have to have a script. You could call a built-in function. So I'm gonna have to get water in a second because my throat's dying. But you can call a built-in function from like node, for instance, if you wanted. And then I'm gonna go ahead and pause this. I'll click right here, right click, insert key. Because we're on the functions track now, it's gonna have us search this, and I'll say store, pause. Okay, and so now what happens is that position is now stored. So now what we can do is, now this won't do it, I don't think, in the editor, unless we've got a tool script. Let's go ahead and see. Like if I do this, it's not gonna be printing anything. But if we start the, oh yeah, what we need to do here, let's go here. Now, so yeah, this animation will not actually play in the actual game unless you do one of two things. One is to click this. This means autoplay, right? And so essentially this means when the game starts, you're gonna play this transition. Two is to go in this script and we can say animation player.play and then the name of the animation we want it to play. And then three is to use an animation tree. I think it's animation tree. Yeah, animation tree. This is deprecated, don't use this. The animation tree here, which is much more complicated, and I use it in a lot of my games. I'll go ahead and jump into that just by showing you another project in a second. But now if we go ahead and start the game, and we look over here to the output, you can see that what's happening is every time it hits that position, it's getting the position and it's printing it, so it knows that it's there. Okay. Now, there's a lot of other things you can do. For instance, if you wanted to query that, we could say animation, or actually, there might be signals. If we go to animation player and go here, so animation changed, animation finished, animation started, and cache is cleared. I don't know what cache is cleared does, but you can infer that this plays when the animation starts, this plays when the animation finished. I think on looping animations, go ahead and zoom out a little bit. Looping animations, it should play every time it restarts and every time it hits the end of this. I'm not sure though. Animation changed, of course, is if you change animations mid-game, they will alert you of all those things. Yeah, so there's quite a few things you can do there. You can also make physics process, and then you should be able to go like animation player. If we go to properties here, you should be able to get like the time. Maybe I'll look in the docs for that, but like if you want to check every single full second, you could say get animation player time modulo 0.1, and then every 10th of a second, if animation player.time modulo 0.1 equals 0, then do this, and that would essentially give you access to every single 10th of a second. We could check what our position is here. If you want to play two animations at once from the same animation player, you definitely use an animation tree, but it is a little complicated. But anyway, yeah, because by default they all, okay. Hey, I'm here. I mean, for example, in idle animation, some of my sprites should be a bit higher. I want to move them a bit higher than others, or in a run animation, some sprites a bit up higher than the other. Yeah. So, like, for instance, we've got this, and let's say that I want him to be higher in this position. What I could do is I could go here. Well, first off, let's do whatever we are here. I'll key this, and whatever we are here. Why is that not working? Oh, because we keyed the animation player. I'll key this. Oh, whatever, we'll do that. And then I'll go here, and I'll key this. Then what I'll do here is then change the Y to be, say like -10. You can't even see that. Oh no, you can't, never mind. Oh, oopsies, it's the wrong one. No, that's the right one. Okay, cool, and then that'll be right here. So now if we do this, let's actually make that a little more dramatic, shall we? Let's make this like -100. Oh, that's weird. That should not be. Let's delete these real quick. That was a goof. Oh no, this was the problem. Oh no, it's not. No, okay, yeah, that's fine actually. Let's make this 0. And then let's remove these. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Delete keys, and then make sure this is happening how it was before. Yeah, and then so if we go like halfway in between this, which would be 0.5, insert new, oopsies. And we'll key this frame here, key this frame here, key this frame here. And then if we go here, we can change this to be -100. There we go. And then that's gonna make him hop on the way back. Yeah, anyway, okay. And how to save it. Okay, so then you would do exactly what I did here. So here I have, I've done a call. I don't know if you saw me, I'll just start this over. So what you do is you make a function. So I made a function, so function store position. And what I do is I say, I have a variable here called store position, which I've type hinted as a vector2. You don't even need that though. You could literally do that and you'd be fine. Then we do function store position. Store position equals position. So this gets our position property. Right here, whatever we're at, and then stores it in this variable. But the other thing about this is you really don't need to do, yeah, I think that's probably the best way to do it, is you can make sure you're at that frame, and then we can say print stored position. And this is only for demonstration purposes. Then what we'll do is we'll go into our animation player here, we'll click add track, go down to this green call method track, we'll make sure that we select the sprite node because that's where I've added the method. Then at this point where I want them to be higher, I'll right click and then click insert key. Then I'll search the name of the function. So this was store position. And then we can go ahead and run this. And you can see down here in the output, it prints the position that it's at, right? And it's gonna be the same every single time though. But yeah. So yeah, that's how I would do that. If hopefully that's what you meant by saving it. I'll go ahead and show you a little more advanced project that I have made with the animation player here. So go to Godot code, Godot man. I think I've actually shown this already. Project.godot. Okay, so here's Godot man. Okay, and you can see that he up and down movement I haven't specified yet, but he can run. Okay, he can move, his arm should, oh yeah, I made his arm movement that way. But yeah, he can shoot, do all this stuff. And this is all except for the movement function and the head rotation function. This is all done with the animation player and stuff like that. So what I'll go ahead and show you here. So here's my animation player, here's my animation tree. I have a second animation tree for the canon, and then a one for the regular stuff. Now we can see if I go to something like, let's go to, click this, let's go to run, and then I'll zoom in here. So this is a massive animation, right? And so what we'll do, oh, this isn't gonna work if I've got this active though. Turn that off. If I play this, you can see that he starts running, which is pretty cool. And essentially what we've done is I just save one of these animations. Like here's an up pose, here's a down pose. Now you can actually see that his whole body is actually going down. So here we go up, down, and then here we're down, and then here we're going, this is actually further down. Here's the up, here's all the way down, all the way up, all the way down. So he's actually going up every single, actually yeah, if I click through it's probably better. Up, down, right? And then what's happening is that it's moving those between those points the best it can. And you can set up Bezier curves if you want. Again, I haven't here, and that's fine. And then what I've done, and let's go ahead and activate this. And you'll see if I start running, I don't just start the animation, I kind of smoothly run into it. So here, if I click it a bunch, you can see that it's doing some weird stuff. And that's because I'm transitioning smoothly based upon my velocity from the idle animation to my running animation. And I'm doing that in the animation tree here. And I got movement, right? I click edit. And you can see, essentially, let's go. So I've got this thing called blend position. If we go here, I think this is a blend space 2D. Yeah, so we go blend space 2D and then click into this. Or is it something else? No, blend space 1D is what this is. Wow. Yeah, because it's a linear thing here. Let's see, click it, delete it. I really hate this UI though, I'll be honest. But anyway, and then, so what we've got is we've got this position here. And this is essentially the blend space. So I can move this. And you can see that the more this moves towards this dot, the more I run, the more it's towards this dot, the more I idle, right? So that's the transition. And so essentially, this is a value of 0 to 1. And what we can do is from code, we can go and grab that value, so movement, blend position, and we can set this value, which is equal to wherever this is, from our code, which I'm doing right here in velocity, animation tree, dot set parameters movement blend position to our blend position, and then I'm calculating the blend position based on my, where's blend position? Oh, right, I'm so stupid. Right there. So var blend position equals the current velocity in the x direction divided by my max velocity, right? And so that means if I'm at my max velocity, that will equal 1, and if if I'm not moving, it will equal 0. And that's how that works. Pretty simple. Yeah, that's how you do that. Really? Okay, great. If you've got any other questions, please let me know. Yeah, I was actually, I made the art for this and then started working on this. Like, I was gonna make it like kind of like a Samus type game, but I don't, you should make the games you wanna play, and I'm like, I don't really wanna play, like I don't really like platformers that much, so I shouldn't make this game. But I do really like this, and the idea was to involve nodes, and so I actually made, someone on Reddit just recreated a version of it, and I'm pretty psyched about that, because I think it's really cool, but I made this background because you can get access to all the Godot icons. If you go to the Godot engine GitHub, they've got a file with all of the SVGs for these, and then I just opened them in my editor and converted them to PNGs, and then stuck them and just patterned them like this. It's a cool like node pattern. And then so some guy made something cool like that on, sorry, not itch, Reddit. If we go here, file, oh no, right here, I think I got, okay, there we go, 5 uploads. Yeah, this guy made a cool wallpaper too. I actually like it with the darker color better for his jerseys, but that wasn't gonna fit with the itch.io page, but you can see he's done the same thing. So yeah, I think it's really cool. And yeah, that's basically that. Anyway, so yeah, this was gonna be a game where all the enemies were different nodes in Godot, and like you had followers and people like that, and it was everything was going to be your Godot man, you're playing with them. I don't know if you notice here, but he's shooting nodes. It's like, pay attention to the bullets. Like there's nodes. Actually, just look like right here when I fire the gun, and there's a node in the middle. Yeah, if I rapid fire, you can kind of see it. So he's actually shooting nodes, like node 2Ds, at people that are just super powerful node 2Ds. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, thought that'd be cool. Yeah, obviously there's some big problems with this that I didn't care to solve. Oh, I actually did figure them out. Oh, I figured them out in my other game based on some guy's function that he made. But anyway, because it was when you lerp around a circle, because Godot's unit circle is weird, it won't go 360. Like if I'm looking here and I point here, instead of just going like this, it goes all the way around the circle and back, and that's why the head was doing some weird stuff there, and the arm. But I figured that out in my newest game, so cool. In the jam stream the other day, it sounded like you guys wanted a browser playable version of games. Do we need to do that? If so, how do you test an HTML export? I thought the doc said you can't test it locally. Lots of ways. You can test it semi-locally, but I wouldn't even bother doing it, and I honestly forgot how to do it at this point. You don't have to put an HTML game, but if you're using Godot, it's stupid easy to do an HTML export. A lot of people are like, oh, you should use GLES2 and stuff like that. Screw that. I mean, maybe it makes your game more accessible, I guess, to people with crappier computers. But I never do. I always export at GLES3 to HTML, and all my games work just fine. A few errors occasionally happen, but usually nothing big. Performance is usually the only thing that gets hit a tiny bit. And also, for some reason, the glow or bloom effect, if you have it in your game, is way more intensified. But that's it. So all you have to do is literally just If it works on a normal export, it will work on that export, and it will work on your Mac and other exports. Now, Mac is kind of weird because they have like weird security features that prevent you from opening apps that are not are made by non-Apple verified developers. But like anyone who's had a Mac for a while knows how to get around that. So, yeah, I mean, you literally just go. I don't know why I open up project settings. It's as easy as going. I did it again. Project export. And then we can literally just export as an HTML here. So click add, HTML5, and that's it. Yeah, and then we would like obviously provide a path to export to, which I don't want to do at this point. And that's it. You don't have to change anything. That's literally it. Oh, except, yeah, so I would then put it, so I don't know if you watched that stream, go back to it. But BitBrain said he made something that makes it so it automatically, all you have to do is when you export to HTML, it automatically puts it on itch as a private. So when you go on itch, if you go to your dashboard, you can see I've got an unlisted game here, Perry, right? And I can go here and I can run the game. The reason it's unlisted is because I made some changes to it in Godot 3.3, and it essentially makes the game not work. I also hate this game, but so like, wow, that's actually definitely dope. Anyway, so yeah, you can make it private, so you save as a draft, and then you can test it on itch. Yeah, so what Danilo is talking about is exactly what I'm talking about, and it's BitBrain made a video on how to do it. BitBrain auto export HTML5 Godot. No, not Gonki. Although that's how I learned how to do it the first time. Godot. Huh. I figured it would be much easier to find it, but yeah, he talked about it in his stream, and I think he linked it in that stream. So go check that out, and you should find it there. Oh, this is the shader language. Interesting. Okay. Anyway. Sorry, random bumps through my head. Yeah. So what? Yeah, I need to figure out what you're doing, Danilo, and because I have not done that yet. And it would be really nice to have that automatically done for me. Yeah. I think my girlfriend left, which is cool because that means I don't have to stop streaming. But yeah, I mean, and then what you've kind of got to do is a little weird stuff here. After you export for HTML, what you should do then is, let's see, I did it again, project exports. You should export it as a pck.zip file, then unzip that file. Am I doing this right? I don't know, it's kind of complicated because you have to put an index.html or name it index.html inside a zip file, and that will be the file that is run. Anyway, itch account for the jam, so I haven't used it yet except to browse other people's games. Yeah, dude, that's freaking epic. That's exactly why we made this. I'm so excited that you've done that. That makes me really happy to hear because that's, yeah. I didn't even finish my first jam, so if you don't feel bad. But anyway, yeah, so you can totally go on itch.io, and then when you go to here, no, I guess you go up to your creator dashboard here, you can click create new project. And then you would just essentially, you go visibility and access is the last thing here, saved as a draft. You can also do restricted, which is the same thing. No one can see it, except for those that you send the link to, which might be nice if you want other people to test it for you. Lots of cool stuff. Yeah, that's epic, so saucies. Oh, you already, let's check it out real quick. I mean, I shouldn't do this technically. Redefine's gonna get mad at me, but let's check it out. I don't play by the rules, okay? I park in the red. So saucies, tree invaders. Is this done already, dude? How did you do that? Whoa. Dude. Oh, is that my score up at the top? Oh, oh, do you get? Dude, this is sweet for a first game. You've clearly gone through a lot of stuff. Oh my God. Whoa. One thing, I don't know if this is happening or not, but it would be cool that you got more points if you were able to chain together kills, like you get multiple people on one laser. I think that would add a lot of incentive to the game, and also like that's very, very cool. Like that should give me extra points. I also don't really love how it's floats instead of integers. Like I think you should keep the, oh, that's cool. Dude, I am absolutely blown away by this being your first game ever and your first Jam account, because this is sick. This is like legitimately fun to play. People with much more experience can make games that like maybe are a little higher quality, but aren't, like this is actually fun. You know what I mean? You've got a solid idea and you can refine it more and more. You clearly like did all the art yourself, which is epic. I mean, it's freaking sweet, dude. And of course, like you can keep,
At my meeting.
at 2:30?
At 2.
Oh, 2? Okay, crap. Okay. All right, you guys. Unfortunately, I have to go because my girlfriend has an important meeting that she has to do over Zoom in the apartment. So, yeah, sorry, I gotta go. If you have any more questions, please join my Discord community. I'll go ahead and link that again. Copy. Or go in Rungeons. I'm trying to get mine popping, but for some reason I just find myself answering people's questions in Rungeons community. Like I'm always in Rungeons community, just answering people's questions and stuff. But please feel free. I have a questions tab. Just drop your questions in here. We also got a little general tab for chit chat, which is cool. This is supposed to be a reply. Why can't I do things? Anyway, so yeah, please go ahead and do that. Because you can't PM me on YouTube. You can leave comments if you want, and I'll respond to those best I can. But I actually like go on Discord constantly. I'm just on my phone, on board, and I'll come in here and I'll actually answer people's questions like thoroughly, right? And if I think it's great, like I thought his question was really fantastic, a really teachable moment, I went ahead and added that and did it live on stream. And of course, if you don't want me to mention your name, I won't mention your name. It's just that easy. So yeah, please go ahead and do that. Please like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Again, I like don't usually tell people to subscribe to my videos because I think it's like, obviously I would like you to subscribe, but I don't want you to feel pressured. But I realized like the other day, I actually just didn't realize I was not subscribed to a channel I like a lot because he's never said it. And so yeah, I figured I'd start saying it because, yeah, please subscribe if you like me. So yeah, thank you guys so much. I apologize for this being a little shorter than usual. But yeah, I'm gonna set up another one of these for next week. Yeah, next week I am gonna have to stream because I'm gonna stream playing these submissions here. Oh, I love this asset pack. It's fun. Yeah, that's about it. That's about it. All right, so yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna go ahead and leave the stream up for probably like 10 more minutes so you can chat amongst yourselves if you would like. Okay, that's cool. Because every laser shot costs 1 point. Oh, that's cool. That's very, very cool. That's a really cool mechanic. I think you should just make it integers, and you should also make something that lets the player know that that's happening. So a little bit of player feedback, like having like a multiplier up at the top. Like actually, I've got 2 minutes. Okay, really quick. I have this game. The sound is awful. Because something happened on itch.io where I think they like restored the file, and now all the sounds are awful. But luckily I made a settings. Oh, actually, you can probably hear that. So let's make sure. Oh no, they're off. Okay, cool. All the sound is really bad. But you can see here on this game, I've got up here in the top right, this is your multiplier. Oopsies. For some reason, I forgot to save the explosion as a sound effect. And so you can see that like when you get the multiplier there together, it actually does like change up here. So it gives the player a little more feedback. I honestly don't even think that's enough, but I think you should add something like that to your game. It would be sweet. Yay, Nostalgic Leaf. I'm excited for you to be there. So yeah, anyone else you want to chat with me, you want to chat with other people in the community, just ask a question. A lot of times other people will answer it. I think it's great. Mine or Rungeon community, both open to everybody and everything. All right, so thank you guys so much for watching, and have a good one. Again, join the GoGodot Jam if you haven't, okay? All right, thanks guys.